action stations, right. TrailTrek here. The TrailTrek Team Extreme are back.
Hello, all the subscribers. We haven't been around for a while, or I haven't been around for a while. So
due to lockdown and things like that.
Due to lockdown.
Yes, but we're back. And you said this morning, you said, isn't it lovely to be back out?
Fantastic. It's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Good feeling to see, and the sun is eventually starting to come out through the heart, is what we call it in Scotland.
So what would that be if you weren't from Scotland?
Fog.
Fog or mist or something like that, exactly. Yeah.
Fog in the Tyne.
Fog in the Tyne. Well, I got some footage of Fog in the Tyne. In fact, I'll put it up there if I can find it. There's some fog on the Tyne, and I'll leave it playing while we're talking. Because you do get fog on the Tyne. It's if the weather conditions are right, it sort of lifts and it just comes across the fog there. So we're out again, but we're at a place called. Now I thought it was called Auchtertool, but this is Scotland, so it's probably Auchtertool.
Auchtertool.
That's my guess, and I apologise if I've got that pronunciation wrong, because I went to Charlestown or whatever the hell it was called. No, not Charlestown. What was it called? I thought it was called Culross, and someone said it's Culross, idiot, or something, which is fair enough. But I didn't do that on purpose. I wasn't trying to wind anyone up. I just took my best guess, so apologies for that. So I think this is called Auchtertool.
Yeah, Auchtertool. But it's nice to be back, isn't it?
It's lovely to be back.
Nice to be back.
Do you have anything you want to say to the subscribers?
Just hi.
Well, no. Keep it simple, straight to the point. I want to say hi to someone called Franz.
Franz.
Aye.
Franz Ferdinand.
I know, that's what I thought. Sorry if I've got your name wrong. I didn't. This isn't on purpose. But Franz, because he sent me a message on one of my reviews saying, awful rubbish. You should stop immediately doing all reviews. So I replied saying, all right, fair enough. And then 2 days later, he must have watched a different review. I'll put his details up here. Well, I don't want people to pester him though. Okay, I just want you to understand that. And then he put after that, brilliant review, fantastic, well done, I love it. So I don't know whether on the first day he hadn't taken his pills, and on the second day he'd taken all of his medication.
Schizo.
But who knows? Well, I don't want to label anyone, and I don't want anyone to be bullied on the channel. However, it was from 100 miles an hour to 0.
Oh well.
So I like that contrast though, so hi to you.
Maybe having a bad day and then a good day.
Aye, we all have bad and good days. So we're in Auchtertool. It's a very small village, and I've taken some footage of, and I'll put it up here. This is giving me a lot of editing, you realise, when I'm doing this. Where I'm zooming into the sign here. It says Fife Central Area, best kept small village, annual trophy. So well done. Well done, Auchtertool. And we're going to
I've never heard of this little place, so
interesting.
Let's hope it's got a lot to offer.
Well, I think Fife has got a lot to offer.
Yeah, I do too.
Every time we come to Fife, sorry to butt in, but I just want to say, every time we come to Fife, I enjoy it.
Yeah, we find more and more, but I don't know anything about today. You've chosen today, so I just walk.
Well, there's not a lot of history. You do the
talking, I do the walking.
There's not a lot of history in this. It's just countryside, which is beautiful, and we want relaxation in the sunshine. There is a kirk which you pointed out on the way, which we'll see at one point, and I think it's from 1178, 12th century basically, but rebuilt 18th century or something like that. I'll go over that when we get there, because today's about relaxation and listening to the birds and big motorbikes that are about to go past.
There's a tractor.
Oh, it's a tractor. Can you hear that? Listen. There you come and wave. Oh. He wasn't having any of that. Don't know who you are. Okay, so we'll make a move. We've said hellos and we're back.
Yeah,
back
we
on
hope
the road.
everybody is keeping well, obviously, through this pandemic that we've had.
I would wish good health on everyone watching this, and all your family. And if anyone's had any problems, especially people who've got elderly relatives who are scared of the flu and things like that, I feel very sorry for them, and I hope everyone's safe.
Yep.
I want people to be happy and safe. That's my message for the day.
Okay, so let's get doing this.
Let's get out. Get out. Oh no, I do it at the end, don't I? Yeah, I do it at the end. So rock on. Rock on. We need to come up with a new one to start. I normally end with get out. So what can the...
We'll figure it out.
TrailTrek, you! Or something like that.
Oh god, that's a bit enthusiastic.
TrailTrek, woo! I'm going to do that from now on.
It's too enthusiastic for me.
Yeah, I'm going to do
it. Anyway, let's go.
Exactly. Right.
Boom.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
beautiful here. I'm just a quick update. We've come across that. If you're going to copy this, we've come across the field, and then at the gate, there you need to take a right to the gamekeeper's cottage. I just want to do that because I was going to go that way, and then Claire correctly pointed out, hang on, that's mental. That's completely the opposite direction, and she's right. So we need to go that way. Although that probably makes no sense on a video because you don't know the orientation of my hand here. But there you go.
So you're turning west, I would say then.
Aye. Don't quote us on that and sue us when you get lost.
I would say west.
But listen to the birds. I can hear skylarks there. And something over there. Beautiful. Summer has finally arrived. Aye, about blinking time. Right, we're off. We're going up that way, whichever direction that is. We've come through a squelchy field, and I'll show you why you need Gore-Tex or hiking boots. Listen. Can you hear the squelch? So your new nickname is Raquel Squelch. So that's why, unfortunately, even though it's the start of summer, it's wet, so we'll get some proper boots or something. Listen to that. It's getting louder. Sounds like someone drinking a milkshake. What do you think of that field of rape over there? It's all yellow, look at that.
I know, it's gorgeous. It's so summery, isn't it?
Listen to the birds. They're incredible.
Oh, it's lovely. It's
So we're near Balerno Cottage or whatever it's called.
Balerno Cottage.
Balerno is near the Pentland Hills, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
And I think we can see in the distance, I might need to zoom in a bit, but somewhere over there is a secret church that we're heading to. And in Scotland
This
they're called,
is just gorgeous.
they're called as a Kirk.
Kirk.
Captain Kirk. It is, listen to the birds. Proper nature. Free as well. We haven't seen a single person other than a farmer who very kindly pointed out that one of the fences was electrified. And he was very pleasant. Beautiful. finally made it to the Kirk. You've got absolutely gorgeous views here. I mean, you're such a high prominent spot. Beautiful views right across. You know, I can see the Har in the distance. I might take a time lapse of that. And there's a brilliant grave here with a big skull and crossbones, and then what looks like a knight, like a Teutonic knight, almost with the cape. There's some really interesting graves here. There's a lot of the egg timer and the memento mori, and the skull and crossbone motif here. It's fantastic. I think it was about 1178, and it's been rebuilt a few times. I think most regularly in the 1800s. But beautiful place. It's so far out of the way. It is incredible. So I'm just having a little look around. Love it so far. What I'll do is, when I'm having a look around and showing you some of the photographs,
I'll put a little bit of the history on, but you've got to come here because the views are just incredible. In fact, what I'll do is, after this shot, I'll do a 360 just so you can see the view that I can see. It's incredible. But I'm going to continue looking around this fabulous place. Okay, here's the view I wanted to show you. So here's the entrance. And look at this, absolutely stunning. You're at a really, really high point here. It's a little bit of a climb to get up, but it's an extended climb, so it's not ridiculously steep. Look at that. Unspoiled nature. I mean, obviously a lot of that's farmland. There's a guy ploughing in the distance there. In fact, I'll try and zoom in, see if you can see. Let's get zoomed in. You might see the seagulls following the guy. See there? So as he ploughs the field, it breaks up all the bugs and the worms, and the seagulls from the coast come in and they know this. What they do is they follow the tractor and eat them all. So I'm in an extreme level of zoom there, so the quality may be poor, but I apologise for that. But fantastic here, absolutely fantastic. We'll go back to one zoom there, and then there you go. Beautiful.
Okay, a little bit of history here. So Auchtertool, if I'm pronouncing that correctly anyway, is obviously Scottish, and it's from the Gaelic, which is from Auchtertool now, or Auchtertool. So basically the name is derived from the Gaelic for Uachtar, meaning sort of upland, above, something like that, and then Tool, which means torrent. I think that what it's coming down of is it said it's upwards and above of a torrent, in other words, some form of water, and it's basically relating to a burn nearby where water sort of flows by. So that's the history of the name of this place anyway. So the Auchtertool Kirk, or church, as people outside of Scotland would probably refer to it as, originally had the patron saint of St Columba. Now, for people who don't know, especially people who aren't native to the Scottish Isles, St Columba has the he has the well-known history of coming from Ireland, and he may not have done it solely, but he was certainly evangelical in his sort of trips to Scotland, and that especially the Isles of Scotland, to promote Christianity. And I think he's most famously known for the I think it's the Isle of Iona. I think there's still stuff there from when he came over. So basically he was just spreading the word of Christianity. That's one of the things they did in those days. So he's quite an interesting character. Now I just wanted to mention, just for fun here, because whether you believe this or not, it's entirely up to you. But I just wanted to tell you, he's got tenuous links anyway, I'll say, to the Loch Ness Monster. Now, before you say Loch Ness Monster, what a load of rubbish, well, listen to this. So according to reports anyway, so the earliest reports of a monster in the vicinity of Loch Ness anyway, which is nowhere near here, I just want to point that out, it's much further up into the Highlands, is in a book, or an account anyway, I'll call it, The Life of St Columba, and that was done by a Dominion, I think, but that's way back in the 6th century AD, so way back. So it's a single source. You shouldn't really be trusting a single source, although you could use that argument with a lot of things. But anyway, so according to Dominion anyway, writing about a century after the events described, so again a little bit tenuous to a higher degree anyway, however, but he's described events anyway where the Irish monk St Columba was staying in the land of the Picts. Now, Picts, I can go into the history of that, but basically what they're referring to there is, or just for me anyway, they'll be referring to the Scots. I think the Picts comes originally from, it may have been the Romans who described the native Scots tribes as the Picts, because I think they used blue body paint for pictograms on their bodies. I think that's where that comes from, but I'm certainly no historian. Well, anyway, in this land of the Picts, anyway, which I'm taking as Scotland, with his companions, he encountered local residents burying a man by the River Ness. In other words, saying River Ness, it's obviously one of the areas that feeds in Loch Ness, and they'd explained that the man had been swimming in the river and he was attacked by a water beastie. So it's mauled him and dragged him underwater. Now, there is another monster in Scotland, the Kelpies, which is a water horse which does something similar, but that's not what this legend's about. So anyway, they tried to rescue him in a boat, but he was unfortunately killed. So Columbus sent a follower, and he swam across the river, and the beast came and approached this follower. But apparently, anyway, according to this account, Saint Columba made the sign of the cross, and said, "Go no further, do not touch the man, go back at once." And the creature apparently stopped as if it had been pulled back with ropes. Now that's a quote, so pulled back with ropes is a quote there, and fled. Columba's men and the Picts gave thanks for what they'd received, and they perceived it as a miracle. I think quite famously as well, Columba's quite an interesting guy. I'm sure he once bet or made a promise in regards to his evangelical sort of conquest of areas of Scotland, that he bet that it was going to rain on a certain day, and of course it did, and of course all the people, well, right, we're going to immediately convert to Christianity. Again, I don't know how true that is, because stories get embellished over time, but I just thought that was a little bit of light-hearted relief and a little bit of history and Scottish intrigue there for people who don't live in the Scottish Isles there. So anyway, eventually it was changed over, so you had the patron saint being Columba, and you can understand that because he's got an important part in Scottish history. But then I think it was in 1421, it was decided to change it over, and the patron saint became St. Peter. I'm not going to blab on about St. Peter because he has a lot less to do with Scotland, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of that history there.
Right, well, we've had a look around the Kirk. You've had a little rest, which we both needed a bit of a rest because it's been quite a long journey. We'll tell you how long it was at the end, obviously. We've got about another, say, less than a quarter still to do. But the sound of those birds is fantastic, absolutely amazing.
Very, very peaceful here.
What have you enjoyed most about this area, or?
Well, it's been a good day weather-wise. Not seen a lot of people. It's peaceful. Not a lot of cars. Just getting out and enjoying it again. Probably the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a breeze, but it's welcome because it's pounded by the sun here, so I don't mind. We couldn't get into the Kirk. I think it's open for Sunday service, but it's shut now. But it doesn't matter, it's just a beautiful area.
So what did you find out when you went a wee wander?
Not a lot. What I did find out was there's some nice plants in the house I want to show you around the back.
Right, okay.
Because we're nosy. We like that sort of thing, so we'll enjoy that.
Nebbing in people's gardens.
Aye, and what I've said is for some of the photographs I'll put up some of the history, because it's not massively, you know, big on the world stage. You know, it's not like, you know, Robert the Bruce used to get conkers off the tree or anything like that. There's nothing like that, but it certainly does have our past. But I've loved it so far. I just think it's been nice and quiet, proper countrified.
And there's a little plaque round there with stones and things like that.
Aye, there seems to be a lot of that in Scotland. Because, I mean, if you look at a lot of the strata of the rock in the Highlands, it's extremely interesting. You know, volcanic-wise, there's a lot went on to make the mountains that we get to enjoy today.
Exactly.
Scotland's so lucky. Masses of beautiful mountains and Munros and huge lochs, water abundance. You've got the coast. You can't ask for anything more, really.
Yeah, so it's got a bit of everything.
Mm-hmm. So if you did want to do this walk, there is a longer version of this walk, but we like an enjoyable walk. We don't want an arduous odyssey.
Yeah, well, we've had a little sit and a picnic as well, so we've encompassed that into the time.
Exactly.
I've had a wee relaxation. I like just to stop for a minute because life can be so fast-paced that it's nice just to stop and listen to the birds and take it in and watch nature and see wee creatures buzzing about and flying about. So it's nice. It's just all good.
True.
I've had a really, really good day.
Yeah.
Are we going to rate today, or
well, we'll wait.
go back to the
Now
car?
we'll wait until we get back because some of the route we did, there's a lot of soggy bits. So if you fall flat on your behind, the rating might plummet. So there's no good giving it a rating now. Saying
hence why I've got the bare feet.
Aye, and we're drying the sock off. This isn't my hat. We're drying the sock off.
Soggy sock.
Hey, these things happen when you hike. Never mind. But I've had
There's one there.
There's one there, one hanging
up
off there. And hopefully the birds don't steal them. Necessities of life. They're not bad actually. They're still a bit wet, but they're not as soggy.
They were white.
They were like an old dishcloth. There you go. I'm sure the vicar will love that. So
I don't think I'll put them back on again. I think they're going in the bin.
I don't know. Well, if you watch these commercials for washing powder, you would think you could get anything white, even if it's got tar stuck to it. So we'll give it a shot. So thank you for joining us so far.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to
Lovely
start
day.
heading back, but we're heading back towards the bit where the Har is. In other words, the mist and the fog. So it may be a mixed bag, but I've had a great time so far. Loving it. Mm-hmm. So catch you in a few seconds.
You soon. Bye.
Right, we've made it. We are back. We're in a slightly different location because wherever we attempted to film, it was like a comedy film. There was either a loud crow or somebody else squawking.
Children screaming, crying.
Yeah, which we don't mind.
Grannies chatting.
Which we don't mind, but when I've got to sit gritting teeth, white knuckle ride, trying to edit it, it becomes a little bit tedious. So anyway, moving on from that ramble, we've had a lovely time. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and you were saying you really enjoyed it as well. This whole area is beautiful. We're by a trickling stream here with midges, which are tiny little flies. Now, for people who aren't from Scotland, and we have a lot of people watch this who aren't from Scotland, they're biting little things, aren't they?
Yeah, they really give a very, very, like, considering the size of them, they can really give so little bite, and they're really itchy as well, and they can leave you with a lot of little lumps.
For their size, it's disproportionate the amount of damage that they cause.
They love really humid weather, don't they, when it's been really raining and sunny, which is what's been happening.
So any body of water, and you've had it. So I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Now I'm going to give this a mark out of 10. I think this is worthy of an 8. Even though I'll probably give everything an 8, because you've got rolling hills, beautiful rolling hills. Yes, there's a bit of mucky weather, but it wasn't the end of the world. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Beautiful sweeping views when you reach the Kirk, and everyone's been great. The farmer was great that we spoke to. He was jovial. The second farmer who was in a tractor, the elderly guy, looked fun. No complaints. 8 out of 10. What do you reckon?
I'm going to break it up.
1 out of 10.
No, 2 pieces. 2 pieces. The first part, and when I say the first part, I'm talking probably about the first 10 minutes.
Right.
Yeah, that's when my shoes and my socks got squelched.
Which
you did tell me to wear, because I didn't know where we were coming, I didn't know what
fair
shoes
enough.
to wear.
Yeah.
So you did say to me, and I thought, oh, it's going to be a nice day, it'll be fine, it'll be dry. But
Yeah.
no, there was only about 10 minutes where it was really squelchy, but to have that at the very start and to carry on, it's a bit annoying, but it's dried out now, the socks got thrown away.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, they're
I
gone.
would have given that wee 10-minute part a 2 out of 10. Mm-hmm. But I would give the rest of it an easy 8.5 out of 10.
Wow,
so
great.
Overall, I would say an 8 out of 10 as well. So the half gets knocked back because of the soggy socks.
Okay, that's great.
But it's lovely
Yeah,
all round.
yeah, I've
peaceful.
really enjoyed it. You know, I really, you can't ask for much more. So it's just over the Firth of Forth. Well, I say just over, you've got to obviously have a car to do that, but once you get over, it's so peaceful here. It feels what I would call, it's not a proper word, but countrified. It's not yet spoiled by McDonald's and KFCs and all that. You can hear real bird life and skylarks and trickling water, and nothing's spoiled yet. So I really appreciate that sort of thing. Yeah. And I can feel the heat, and that's unusual in Scotland. On my forehead, so I've totally enjoyed it. So
we've not had great weather. May has been a washout.
Yeah,
so this is the very
rubbish.
end of May, and it's getting there. So let's go summer. Come on, give us a good summer. We've been locked down for far too long, so let's get us back out there again and enjoying this beautiful weather.
Yeah.
That we all very much deserve. So
and I've got a surprise for the end of this video, because you know I normally shout "get out," but in order to inject real heart-thumping excitement.
No,
you're going to go into the water. Oh, no. So I'm going to throw you in the water and shout, "Get out!" Are you ready? No, I wouldn't do that. This channel's about relaxation rather than sort of whitewater death rides and things like that. I've had a lovely time, but if you're watching this and you think, isn't that lovely? Please get out. Copy what we've done. We're not anything special.
You don't need to do our walks, just as long as you get out.
But then share it with family.
Yeah, or share it with us. Let us know where you've been. How many miles? Is it somewhere local? Can we do it?
Yeah.
Where do you live? Where do you go? Like in your walks?
What are you having for tea? Anything else? Shoe size? You're right though, because it's nice to hear from the subscribers. When we hear from the subscribers, it's very interesting. We have a big, diverse set of people. I just want to say a hi to Ricky Britton. He's been extremely kind in his comments recently. He calls me brother in the comments, which I think is very kind. You know, it's very endearing terms, so thank you to him. I can't remember all the names. Hi to Jimmy Mack. And we've just started the join button, so at the end of some videos, we're going to have to start giving out big shout-outs around the world.
Really?
Yeah, going, yoo-hoo, to Mexico, to whoever, from Frank from Mexico and things like that. So I'm looking forward to that. We're really getting traction on this channel.
Okay, good.
So thank you, exactly. So thank you for
cat reels.
Get in the water, way. Right, I'm off. Right, we're good. I still spend a lot of time running backwards and forwards to cameras.